Okay, so now I want to go over the burr selection of what I'm going to do for the patient. I want to make sure that we are, utilizing the same burr selection for all of our crown preps. We use zirconia here, either monolithic or layered for the anterior or monolithic for the posterior. The new monolithic Vita shades are actually extremely translucent, so you can actually use them in the anterior if you have a patient who's a heavy grinder or bruxer. So when I do my preparation design, I want to make sure that it looks like a solo cup. It's got 60 degrees taper, and you've got good furrow on the walls of about 4 millimeters of height is what you definitely want to try to get. If you don't have at least 4 millimeters of height, you have a short clinical crown, you need to put extra surface area with either notches or lugs to make sure that the crown is nice and retentive. And I always check my temporary before I do my final impression to make sure my temporary is nice and retentive. So here are the burrs that we're going to use. The first burr I'm going to use for this is a bicuspid, so I'm going to use a thin, coarse burr. It's either going to be a green stripe or black stripe. And I'm going to take the occlusal portion down. If this is the top occlusal, this is the buccal, this is the lingual, I'm going to prep the tooth on the top, 2 millimeters off the top. Then I'm going to go to the buccal, 1.5 millimeters on the buccal, 1.5 millimeters approximately on the lingual. Then I'm going to break the contact either with this burr or I'm going to switch over to a thinner burr, which is my flame green diamond. This actually happens to be black, but it's very similar. And I'm going to break my contacts sideways, and then I'm going to go upright, and I'm going to open up, and I'm going to take this burr and go right to the gum line, just above it, so I don't cut the gum line. After I do that, I'm going to use my same burr, but it's going to be a fine diamond burr, and it's going to basically go slightly below the gum line. It looks like this, and it's going to go about 0.3 millimeters below the gum line, circumferentially around the tooth. And that way it looks like the crown is coming right from the tissue, so it looks a lot more natural. At the end, I'll use a football to remove the occlusal portion to get enough occlusal clearance. And then at the very end, if I need to use my caries removal burr or my 53 or 57 or 330 burr to remove the old filling material, I do that at the very end. I always remove all the old filling material on every single patient to make sure there's no recurrent decay underneath the existing filling.